come on in. We want everybody to come on in. Give enough room, not too tight. I want to say, first of all, good morning. It's a beautiful day. Something unique's going to happen here today. We cannot erase the past, but we can start with a good step forward. So let's open our minds and our hearts so that our children can see what we're gonna do here today. We're doing a good thing. Again, good morning. Aho.
Greetings and welcome to all of you. We're going to open it up with a blessing. With all my tribe members are here. Can you join me in the circle? Julia, elders. Okay, my son, Guiding Young Cloud, will be doing a prayer in our language. Just asking the Creator to be here with us today. Thank the Creator. And to just share a lot of healing, because right now we all need a lot of healing with everything that's going on, all the tragedies. And so we're going to just ask Creator that. And I'll hand it over to my son. We're going to open it up with the ancestor song. As always, we always honor the ancestors. And the interpretation of this song is, oh my ancestors, listen to my heart. Oh my ancestors, here's my heart. And then after the honoring song, then we'll do the actual blessing.
Airano kaneshon Airano kaneshon Naha kwaneshon Naha kwahe Naha kwaneshon Naha kwahe Airano kaneshon Airano kaneshon Naha kwaneshon Naha kwahe Naha kwanesho naha kwahe Kairano kanesho nesho Kairano kanesho nesho Naha kwanesho naha kwahe Naha kwanesho naha kwahe Kairano kanesho nesho Kairano kanesho nesho Naha kwanesho naha kwahe Naha kwanesho naha kwahe Meri horara, Meri horara, Meri horara, Meri horara Eko nish, eko shem de hovira hon Tamigaro akana Getame Ashawu, Tukovat, Ishawu. Utu Teash, Ata Aroit, Nabar Yoko. Webut, Nabar Yoko, that's to the Hot Aroit. Utu Teash, Owach, Tanga, Tangama, Yoko, the Tata Rumata Aroit. Do Mama get a head with Nyap Chuit, Toy Mama Quais Par Akihin. Utu Teash, Otta Adores, Taragish, Yakinar, Memeniar, Yakinar. Meri horara, Meri horara, Meri horara, Meri horara. Harumuk pokushem, Harum pokushem, Harumuk pokushem, Ekoshem, Ekoshem, the holy.
We're going to be honoring prayer to the four directions.
This is a great moment, it's a great time. We're making history here today, all of us. This is the time we're coming to see the statue come down. The commission, along with my fellow commissioners, worked really hard. The journey is true, what Mitch said, we've walked this a long time. Both Gabrielino and Fernandino tribe are not fairly recognized here in Los Angeles, and it's still owed to us. These are all ancestral lands to the tribes, areas that belong to us. Because the untruth, because the victors who wrote the history left us off. And now here's the time when we come today to remove a statue that has meant genocide to indigenous peoples, that has meant the wrongful stories about who we are as Native people. Today is a day that we reclaim who we are, we reclaim the lands. It's time about repatriations of all these things that need to belong to Native people. I'm proud to say that these commissioners, Mitchell Farrell, Hilda Solis, supervisor, we're all working towards bringing the truth out. And the biggest thing about our passion and our drive is that we're doing it correctly. We're educating people along the way. We're, as Mitch said during Indigenous People Day, we're here with a little bit of fight. And that is true. We're not backing down, we're not resisting, but we're marching forward strong with the heads up high, and we're proud about it, who we are as Indigenous people. So I thank you for joining us today and doing this passionate move of removing this statue.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Chrissy Castro. I'm a citizen of the Navajo Nation. I am Nakai Dene, born for the one who walks around clan. And, you know, this is a very emotional moment, I would say right now. I've been feeling jittery and emotional for a lot of different reasons. And I think part of it is, as we fought for Indigenous Peoples Day, I remember sitting in the city council chambers when one of the times, many times we had to show up and talk about genocide and talk about how painful all of these memories are. And I remember having, it wasn't cold, but my body started to shake uncontrollably. I couldn't stop it. And in talking to people and talking to elders, it was, you know, that is the source of that intergenerational trauma that lives in us. So I just want to say that because whatever all of us are feeling right now, you're not alone, right? Like we're healing and we're working through all of these feelings together, very complicated histories that we're working through. And I just want to acknowledge the fact that, you know, none of us stand here as individuals. We stand here as members of a very strong community. We stand here as members of our families. We stand here with a long line of ancestors that fought like hell so that we could be here today. And we're not alone in that. And I also want to just recognize everybody, people that are here, people that are not here, that have been fighting for this for generations, right? Like there's not one person is responsible for this. There's been decades of fight about this. And I just want to tell all of you who have demonstrated, have built artworks, have, you know, called offices, all of the actions, I just really, really want to appreciate all of that, because all of that together is what made this possible. I hope it's okay that I tell this story. I'm not going to actually name who shared this, although they're also here and can very powerfully show this, but it was a mom sharing a story about how during a Columbus Day, her child, a little boy, had a beautiful, beautiful head of hair, long braid. And as the teacher taught that little one something about Columbus, we don't know what was shared in that classroom. That little one went under the desk and he cut off his braid. And he went home to tell his mom, "Mom, I don't want to be Indian anymore." And so for all of those people that say Indigenous Peoples Day or it doesn't matter, there are other issues to worry about, you know, I think about that little boy and I think about the shame, and that's just one story that we know of. What about all of the other stories that are not told, right? So to those people that say this doesn't matter, I think about those little ones and I say it does matter, and we're not going to stand for it anymore.
I want you guys, and all of you know this, that the people that first were impacted by Columbus were the Taino and the Arawak speaking nations. And within 6 months, when Columbus landed, he forced the indigenous peoples to find gold. Well, we know that that territory didn't have much gold. But what he did was, in his soldiers, was the violation and the murder of indigenous peoples. And I believe that when Bartholomew de las Casas tells this story about genocide, one of the first times the word genocide came up, the people of Spain and the church were arguing if indigenous peoples, the new people that they found, if they were human beings, did they have a soul? And they argued that no, they did not have a soul. So their treatment of the Tiano people, the first people, was to cut off the arm if they weren't able to bring enough gold to give to the soldiers. I believe when that first arm was cut, that impact, that vibration was sent across the land, and it still impacts us today. And because we suffer so much disparities in our communities, drug addiction, violence, high rates of incarceration, that's that impact that happened. And we have to take down statues like this. We have to change that narrative, that story of what America keeps lying and saying to itself. The American story is not an American dream. It is a nightmare for our brown people and our black folks. So we want to acknowledge that today, that the Tiano people, they took that first hit, and they're still here.
Backstage.